Okay, so I like to prefix this deck tech with this combo is less bad than the convoluted description I'm about to give you sounds. So, this is an infinite turns combo deck. And here's how the combo works. You need 2 Vadrok / Rodan, 1 Callous Dismissal, 1 Chance for Glory, and a Gideon of the Trials with a Gideon emblem in play. The basic loop is as follows. You have a zombie token in play, and you mutate, you have a zombie token in play, and you cast Chance for Glory. Then, after you untap, you mutate Rodan onto the Callous Dismissal token, and then recast Chance for Glory. You then get to keep taking turns, because Gideon Emblem says you don't lose the game. Then on the following turn, you attack for 3 in the air. Then you mutate the second Rodan onto the first Rodan, which lets you recast 2 spells from your bin. You cast Chance for Glory to take another turn, and you cast Callous Dismissal, bouncing both the Rodans that are mutated onto each other, leaving a zombie. You then start the next turn, and you continue this loop. So you Rodan onto a zombie, take a turn, attack for 3. Rodan onto Rodan, attack for 3, take a turn, bounce your things, rinse, and repeat until your opponent eventually dies from attacking, or you're taking a bunch of turns. You're also like making land drops and doing other stuff and drawing cards out of your deck to find a way to win the game in the meantime. Now, the reason why this deck has felt somewhat reasonable in the past, we haven't played it in a little bit, so we'll find out if it's still reasonable today, is that your cards are just kind of individually okay. You know, Gideon of the Trials, even Callous Dismissal generating tempo. We have Rodan as a way to flashback any non-creature spells, so it recasts our Planeswalkers. Chance for Glory with just Gideon is a 3 mana extra turn spell, which is reasonable. So let's go ahead and jump on into some games with this and see how it feels an Explorer in a post-Liliana the Veil world. That's the big thing that's changed since we played this a few months ago. Liliana is now in the wild. Yeah, if we're comboing, we don't care about children. Gideon says we can't lose the game. Yes, for those that are wondering about the schedule change-up, I have removed Marvel Snap from the schedule this afternoon because they were very boneheaded and have a featured location that's truly miserable. We ended the YouTube stream early last night. I took it off of the schedule today because I ain't playing into that crap. I'm gonna bolt this in because I think they're likely to flash something in, and I'd like to abrade whatever they flash in. They're just having one of those, they added a location, so half of your games are gonna have that location for the next 2 days, and the location basically turns every deck into Mr. Negative. So it's like, not great. The only reasonable way to play into it is to basically play the same deck as everybody else. I like a lot of things about Marvel Snap. Their featured location system is decidedly not one of them. It's a very bad system. Yeah. Yeah, I think the goal of their feature location system to encourage people to like deck build around different locations is like neat in theory, but in practice so far, all it's resulted in is everybody playing the same deck essentially. It's not great. Rodan just being a 3/3 with first strike and flying is pretty good. Yeah, I think that's the big thing. German space ace. They need to not have the featured locations push already established archetypes. Is a good summary. Well, if their last card's a counter spell, we lose the game. But I think this matchup's hard for us anyways, so just gonna give it the old college best here.
Watch over me.
Gonna Brazen Bar were to make us lose the game too. Now, something that's notable about Chance for Glory, chat. This gives your cards indestructible permanently. So this Rodan that we currently have in play will remain indestructible. It is a thick creature land. You're not wrong.
I'm sorry.
That was the first deck today. It was fine. Chance for Glory in and Magidian here.
This is a plane worth saving. Now it's my turn.
We take another turn after this, so might as well attack. It's a free roll. And they're getting priority here, but they can technically activate Faceless Haven, so it's very possible that that's why they're getting priority.
It's just you and me.
Lose the game? No, I don't think I will. No, we might once they attack this Gideon. We'll see. I have a couple of Supreme Verdicts in the board, Jace. Remember, if you ever have any question about what's being played in the deck list, do exclamation point deck and chat to get a link to the list.
I must revisit my training. Hurry.
I could search for glory. I could search for glory for a Rodan and then Rodan double a braid Gideon or double a braid take a turn. I could also Gideon plus search for glory for Ruinous Blast. That's probably the better line, right?
Your weapons won't help you win. You'll have to get through me first.
Think Quartet on board? This deck has a really bad, what's it called, matchup? Grease Fang. And, like, Lantern Cycles, right? So, like, putting a Lantern in your main deck is, like, pretty whatever. Dead to Mausoleum Wanderer here, unfortunately.
How do you feel about a rematch?
Think I have any outs? Oh, Callous Dismissal. No, because they can flash it back in.
We need to move quickly.
An extra turn, and then Tef down tick would have done it. Yeah, but then I need to also draw a Giddy on the extra turn, right? So that's the out. We didn't draw that, but that's a good call. And then if I cycled this, I wouldn't have had enough mana to stop the Wanderer from countering the extra turn. Strum a couple of Narsets. She gets attacked down here regularly. Read Mausoleum Wanderer, Martian, if you're confused why we didn't cast our Sweeper. Playing like 26 lands, right? Yeah, 23 lands plus 3 bolt lands. They had rattle chains every time, yes. Yes is the answer to your question. Come on, Magic Arena. Anybody else currently playing and having a spinning Wheel of Doom? So let's restart the client real quick, just in case. I wonder if that explains the last match of the other deck where our opponent, like, timed out. Wonder if they're having server problems. Someone else said yes, they're also having problems. Darn it, Magic Arena, you're supposed to have problems on Thursdays. That's why I take Thursdays off now. Callous Dismissal does notably eat Fable tokens, which is nice. That's fine, opponent. I didn't want to... I didn't want to cast that Gideon anyways. Joke's on you. Variety is the spice of life. That's why arenas vary against server issues. That's true. It's a quality call out. This is another reason why there is a chance this deck's not playable anymore, right? Like, this card is everywhere, and just like incidentally losing our graveyard makes our fair game plan much, much worse. Like if this wasn't here, I'd be able to Rodan and recast my Gideon here.
Hone your prowess.
But no, that's not an option. I assume they're fatal pushing here.
Such violence is upsetting.
What if we Callous Dismissal the Graveyard Trespasser, ditch the Gideon, and then we Chance for Glory, which lets me mutate this onto here, recast the Gideon from the bin? So I get to have my 4/4 indestructible, but then also my Gideon.
Your defeat is inevitable.
Lose the game? No. I don't think I will. In before Lily off the top. Yep. So, instead of saying, watch out for Liliana's Edict effect, I would instead encourage you to offer actionable advice, because thinking about things like that in terms of actionable lines is the best way for you to get better and play around things. So instead of saying, look out for Liliana, what should I be doing? What game action should I be taking in order to accomplish what you're suggesting? Should I have done something differently to account for a Liliana of the Mail? If so, what? Put a 1/1 counter on an army creature you control. If you don't control one, create a black army zombie creature token. I don't know, actually. Yes, hopefully our 4/4 flying indestructible here is just going to skate us across the end. It's our best draw here. Another Rodian's pretty good. Narset's not bad. Supreme Verdict would be a great draw.
And keep an open mind.
How do you feel about Gideon? I'm down for a Chad lad here.
Watch over.
And I'm gonna chill on Rodian for now. I want him to play defense for our planeswalkers. And I want to try and draw one more card with Narset, so I'm gonna pump the brakes on Rodian for a turn here.
Yup, you're going down.
See, this is a pretty a spot like this gives my opponent a pretty unfair advantage, chat, because in paper my opponent would have 100% forgotten that this thing was indestructible and they would have tried to down tick it with Chandra. But Magic Arena gives them visual indicators to let them know that they shouldn't do that. I think I need to bounce Reflection of the Kiki Jiki, unfortunately, right? I'll make this a 4/4 and make them throw away one of their creatures to save their planeswalker. Hey, watch it.
I am out of here.
Knowing my various planeswalkers. I take this trade. It's close though.
Next time I'll be ready.
Magic sucks and then you die, chat. Yeah, this game's kind of felt like a clinic in Rodan struggling in these fair games.
I was not prepared for this.
We're probably supposed to cut these search ranks as Cantus or the 75. They used to be fine, but you're not living in that same kind of world anymore, unfortunately. I think based on what this format looks like, we'll probably slide the Supreme Verdicts into the main. Maybe play an additional land. It's one of the things search does, help us find lands. I'm not sure my Callous Dismissal here, because outside of when we're comboing, they are card disadvantage. Maybe they're fine because our opponent has Fable. I guess I could go. I could go either way on that one. I just don't think we have enough cards for Founding to recast for it to be playable in this deck, J-Ray. I think you need like a number of very powerful hits or reasonable hits at a minimum for that. We just don't have that. We have six spells it's capable of casting at the moment. I guess it casts anything on the third chapter. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like slow cards that don't impact the board are something we already have a lot of. Something we're hurting for. Yeah, I don't think red-white mid-range was ever great.
This is a play.
There were times when we played it and we weren't completely embarrassed while playing it. Is a probably more accurate descriptor of it. Well, Narset neuters Chapter 2 on the Fable.
You cannot win. I'm going in.
We still just do this.
Mind and body should mean I have just the trick for this.
Well, these the reason why these spell lands are in the deck is for exactly this purpose for the most part. So we are able to use them to fish off an Narset. Like the blue bolt land is not particularly good, obviously, but it is a blue source that Narset can find with her down tick. What's going on, Beansy? Thanks for hanging out for over 3 years. It's been a trip. Welcome back. Yep, you attacked Narset. One Ruinous Blast, please, deck. Honestly, in this matchup, Ruinous Blast seems kind of insane. Maybe we want more of that effect in our
Meditate and prepare.
R75.
Let's do this.
I'm gonna draw this in a Braid rather than Emperor, I think.
Bring it on. I take no joy in the slaughter. I bring my own army.
I'm just taking my turn here to try and pull towards the sweeper.
I'm ready for whatever you've got.
Just pass here. Oh, I guess letting them have the reflection is bad if they copy the Graveyard Glutton. I was thinking I could just kill whatever they target, but... yeah, Gideon's been okay here, but the rest of this game's felt super clunky. I definitely want another land. This deck definitely wants to be flooded more than starved. He says, having just lost the game prior to flood. Yeah, I messed this up. Honestly, even if I don't mess it up, we're probably dead. If I kill this, these things still kill my planeswalkers, then I have no legendaries to cast Ruinous Blast with. No Verdict or Blast, and the 8 cards you looked at with Narset was truly unfortunate. Man, the whole client is just being real weird this morning. Super laggy. Is a Braid still the removal spell I want? I'm not sure that it is. Is this better? There aren't a ton of artifacts we care about in this format, right? And this one only hits planeswalkers. It also provides card selection. I'm gonna put a second blast in the board too. Let's try this. Oh, this is Explorer. So Nettle Cyst is not a card. And Cathartic Pyre kills Greasefang still, so. But, Broomy. So, I was going to snap today, and then they went and put a really awful featured location as the featured location. So I'm not playing snap on stream or off stream for the next 2 days. We were streaming last night when the day rolled over, and I logged off, and I'm not logging back in. That's not true. I'll log in and check the variants, but I'm not playing any games until that location pound sand. Everybody gets a Mr. Negative, yep. Yeah, their feature location system is the one thing I think Snap really needs to change before release. It's not a good system. Can you explain it like I'm 5? So, are you familiar with how Snap has 3 locations that flip up in the center of the game that impact the game in different ways? Normally, those locations all come randomly from a pool of like 60 plus. The problem is they feature a location that's 40+% to show up for a certain number of days. So instead of it being random, it's incredibly likely for a certain one to come up. And when they feature locations that heavily favor playing certain deck types, the gameplay gets real dry and medium real fast because everybody's just playing the same decks. All right, I think we bring in Graveyard Hate. We bring in the extra removal. We ship it. We hope to combo them before they combo us. Well, I'm currently leaning towards this will be the last time we'll ever see this deck on stream. Just for what it's worth for anybody that's coming in late. We're gonna play this out in the attempt to give it the old college try and maybe give it one more, but our deck has not felt competitive in any of the matches that we have played this afternoon with it. Oh, I guess I should just Soul Guide on one, huh? I want to get my tap land in, but they are Thoughtseize deck postboard. It's probably a mistake. We're gonna get around to Black White Angels this week. We played Black White Angels on Sunday, and it was so awful, I didn't even post it to YouTube. It was actually the worst 2 hours of Magic the Gathering I've probably played in the last calendar year. I'm not saying something, because we've had some real stinkers in terms of sessions last year. I mean, is the deck good or not? I have no idea. I just, like, had a bad session with it. Chat, playing 6 matches of Magic with a deck doesn't tell you if it's good or bad, despite what the average idiot on Twitter wants you to think. The volume of games you need to play to empirically know if something's good or bad is huge. Huge. Like, go look at Untapped if you want empirical data to tell you if something's good or bad. And even then, those numbers are muddled because there's so much variation in Magic decks, right? Like, not everybody's playing the same list for the same archetype. Not everybody's playing the same sideboard. Not everybody's sideboarding in the same way. Not everybody's making the same decisions in game. Oh my gosh, I chose to hold up a Braid instead of playing Lantern to play around a Destroy spell, and they drew another discard spell. Can we dodge the rat for one more turn? They're in the tank here, which tells me they maybe don't have the rat.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it. Don't overthink things.
So we'll ditch the smashing here. And then we'll Callous Dismissal the Informant. And fire up Chad and have Chad slam Liliana here.
Knew this was a waste of time.
Yeah, they can't stay away now, though, so... if they find a rat, we need to peel something.
I'm going in.
Going in. Grizzly salvage or something here to go digging with? Oh, okay. I don't think they have the rat yet, right? Because they probably would have jammed it last turn with the can't stay away up. Alright. Coffees for closers, Gideon. Time to get yourself a cup of joe. Let's wrap this one up, put a bow on it, whatever you want to call it. Let's get an OVER before Mr. Greasefang wheels into town. Outland Liberator? What do they think we're playing? Maybe they just think we have, like, white enchantment removal?
Well done.
Oh, it's an anti-hate card. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe the existence of Witherbloom Command means I'm supposed to jump there. I boarded my Teferi out. That's wrong.
My brow is This is unmatched when you hone your prowess.
Now it's my turn.
23 cards into their deck. Can we continue sweating bullets?
Keep an open mind. There are so many mysteries to uncover. Put thoughtfulness before action.
Fun fact, chat. If you chance for glory while Gideon's a creature, he keeps indestructible permanently, which means that he can no longer be destroyed by destroy effects.
I have just the trick for this.
Hey, what's going on, Andrew? We played your blue-black pile of cards in Historic today to start. That's fine. The Jin is really impressive. That's definitely a historic playable card. The cycle Jin? Actually, it doesn't say cycling on the card. You discard it and then draw a card and then get an effect. Oh, AWS is having problems. Yeah, that makes sense. The arena servers have been buggy this morning, and Snap matchmaking is down too. There's probably some kind of overarching issue there. Great, a braid and a soul guide lantern, sign me up. By the way, chat, 2 promos to slip in here. Today is the last day for the Green Chef promo. If you're thinking about using my code there to pick up some meals and submit a deck to the stream, this is the last day to do that. And then September is running out. A few more days of that one through the 30th. You get up to a 30% discount on new subs here on Twitch. If you're an existing sub, you can also get that 30% discount if you re-up for 6 months in advance. Like to kill your 3/1. This is the part where we miss our 3rd land drop again, despite having just gone up to 27 lands, right? Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
I train every day. To meditate and prepare.
Hey, chat. I ain't afraid of no rat. Is there a difference between Prime and September? No, my ratio of payout is the same on both. I get $3.50 for a subscription, whether it is a Prime sub or a paid sub, even with the September discount. All of the September discounts cut into the money that Amazon makes. Now, I know, chat, in that spot, it feels bad to tap out and die to the rat, But we will also lose that game if we sit there and play scared and like hold up mana constantly. I have to get some amount of things on the board and get something going rather than just sitting there afraid. And that's why decks like the opponents tend to feel bad to play against, because optimal gameplay against them frequently leads to decisions like that where you're like, well, long term, you know, we play 100 games, this is the right play, but in this particular instance, we died. Now I feel bad because we died. All right, let's give this one one more, but I might wrap on Magic a little bit early. This deck doesn't seem particularly competitive, and I don't know that I want to start a third deck today. How do I feel about the political climate in the United States? Well, we have an increasingly fascist right-side conservative party that's doing things like banning books and restricting the rights of individuals on a fundamental human level. This upcoming election in the fall could be the very last chance my country has to really tip the balance of things, because if the amount of bullshit the GOP has done in the last 12 months isn't enough to get people activated and engaged and realize they should care, nothing probably will. I know that sounded really doom and gloom, but I am cautiously optimistic that maybe the things that have happened will be a shock to people and there will be things that change. If you want to be metrics driven, and being metrics driven is a good way to be when you are feeling a little bit down about things, increased voter registration, especially in people between the ages of 18 and 24, has been up in almost every state since shit hit the fan politically here, as the GOP and their stacked Supreme Court continues to strip rights away from individuals. So, you know, there could be a light at the end of the tunnel. But I'm also saying that if the midterms go poorly, I'm probably just gonna disappear into myself and try and zone out politics moving forward, because I'm gonna be pretty fucking hopeless if things go bad this fall. Speaking of things that are hopeless, looking at this game state here. Is this a chance for glory draw a Gideon angle? It could just be, I guess we're not dead next turn. We can search for glory for Gideon and then set it up for next turn. I'm not dead yet. I agree that if we maintain the current split German space ace, I will consider that reasonable.
Defend yourself. You cannot win.
Worst 3 mana explore ever. Yeah, something like that. This is the way we spin the tires, spin the tires, spin the tires. This is the way we spin the tires before we die to mono red.
Way to hone your
Do 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 do. Maybe we can draw another card and also do nothing. Yeah. All right, I lied. This deck is bad, but I'm gonna play one more. I don't want to end on this.